Hi guys, it's me, Javier, and here we are again in another lesson, in another video. And well, today's topic is the second and the third conditional. We are going to finish with conditionals today, because as you know, last week we saw the zero and the first conditional. So now we are going to finish the with these two tenses. Um, the second and the third conditional is, in fact, more complicated than the zero and the one conditional, because, as you know, we work with the simple present tense and the future tense only in the zero and the first conditional. Meanwhile, in the second and third conditional, we work, for example, with past participles of the verb, and the present perfect, for example. So it would be more complex, but if you really practice, if you see lots of sentences, if you write them down, you will realize that in fact it is like in Spanish. We use these two tenses in Spanish a lot, so you are kind of related to them. So let's start as always first with their functions. And talking about the second conditional, I have to say that we use it to express the possibility of an outcome in a different situation to reality. We are talking about a possibility. We use the second conditional to talk about hypothetical events, as I said, and it is also used to express irony or sarcasm sometimes. So the result is unlikely in the future or impossible to achieve in the present. Here is, as we said, hypothetical events, because facts and logic indicate otherwise. So that is why it is expressed. It is used to express irony or sarcasm. Now let's see its structure. And well, as I said in the last video, in conditionals we use clauses. So here again we are going to use the main clause and the if clause. The clause that expresses the hypothetical event is in the simple past, which is the if clause, while the main clause expresses the corresponding possible result. So in the main clause, we will have the subject first, then would, and obviously because of a modal indicates that the infinitive. While in the if clause, we will have if obviously first, then the subject, and finally the verb in past. So let's clarify everything with these examples that I wrote. For example, if I were the king of England, I would give everyone a chicken. This is kind of a sarcasm or irony, because we know that I cannot be the king of England in the present. It's kind of logical that this is kind of impossible. So to clarify also, we use, instead of was, were always. It is common to use this in almost all the sentences of the second conditional. If I were, not if I was, because it is not incorrect, but grammatically talking, it is. So we will have to say if I were, if she were, if he were, if we were, if they were. You know that in fact it is I was, he was, she was, but here it is not. We have to always use were. We have to make that replace. Another example to notice that if the weather weren't so bad, we would go to the park. Again, we use were here instead of was. You know that the were is singular, so we would use was if we were talking in the past progressive, for example. But here we have to use always were, which is used to the plural subject in singular subjects. Another one, I would buy a castle if I had enough money. Or if I had enough money, I would buy a castle. You know that you can make that replace. If I had time, I would help you. This means that, in fact, I don't have time, so that is why I cannot help you right now. So if I had time, that's an hypothetical event, I would obviously help you. I would become a superhero if I were invisible. Again, if I were invisible, where I would become a superhero. And finally, if my legs weren't broken, I would play football with you. The fact here is that my legs are actually broken, so that is why I cannot play football with you. Now let's see the third conditional, which is more complicated than the second one, but as I said in the beginning of the video, we use it a lot in Spanish, so you're kind of related to it. So you must understand. You should understand the function, the structure, and how to use the third conditional. But now let's see its function. And well, the third conditional is used to talk about actions in the past that did not happen and cannot, unfortunately, altered in the present. So it's kind of hypothetical again, and it is commonly used to express regrets, dreams, wishes, or hopes that never came true, especially regrets. We are going to talk of hypothetical events again. And talking about its structure, we have also these two clauses, the main clause and the if clause. The clause that expresses the event that never happened is in the past perfect, while the clause that expresses the unfulfilled result or consequence uses the structure would have plus the past participle. As I said, we are going to work with past participles of the verbs, so you must know them. In the main clause, as I said, we have subject would plus have plus past participle, while in the if clause we have if plus subject plus the past perfect. Let's see some examples. I wouldn't have left my job if I had known how difficult it is to find another one. Here we have the main clause first, and then the if clause, which starts with if, obviously. And as I said, in the main clause, we have would have plus the past participle of a verb, while in the if clause, we have the past perfect only. If I had known how difficult it is to find another one, I wouldn't have left my job. In this case, it is a regret. We are wishing we wouldn't that done we wouldn't done that before, which is left my job. In the past, I left my job, so now I cannot find another one. So that is why it's a regret. If I had brought my camera with me, I would have taken a photo. Another example, which indicates a regret, we would say, because in the present, talking about the present, I I don't have my camera with me, so that is why I cannot take a photo right now. So if I had brought it, I would have taken a photo. Now, if the ambulance hadn't arrived late, he would have survived. This indicates again that we hope that had happened, but unfortunately it didn't. So, for example, if the ambulance had arrived, he would have survived, but the ambulance hadn't arrived, so he couldn't make it. Now, she would have gone to your birthday party if she hadn't been sick. The fact is that she was sick, and that is why she couldn't go to her birthday party. And finally, if he had taken the map with him, he wouldn't have become lost. The fact here is that he unfortunately became lost. So that is why he says that if he had taken the map with him, that wouldn't have happened. And the team would have won if the referee hadn't taken the right. And well, that would be everything for today, guys. I really hope you understood everything. As I said, and as always, I really appreciate your presence. I really appreciate you being here. And well, let's see. We are going to meet in another opportunity. Bye.